What's challenging about reaching that top level or whatever you're looking for? It's sticking with it, because I've given you the tools in here to go far, the tools that are working for me. For me, the most challenging part is just sticking with it and going through the ups and downs. You can see the last 28 days, the data on my page is great. All organic, thousands of new likes, 500,000 people reached in the last 28 days, which is down from the 28 days before that. Thousands of new followers, hundreds of thousands of video views. I think Facebook changed the reach calculation in the last 28 days, according to their post. Hundreds of thousands of post engagements. What's tough for me is just the ups and downs, because especially after things go really well, you get that viral stream where people are sharing and things are crazy, like this one, the zombies on Nuketown. Then the next one's pretty good, and then after that you kind of go down back to earth lots of times, and it's up and down, and it can be frustrating sometimes, especially when the most frustrating time often is when things go well right after that. Because when you're starting out or you're building, sure, you're thinking, okay, this is great, a few people are watching, I'm interacting with everyone. But then things start going better, and then all of a sudden you do make the Facebook homepage. You essentially get exactly what you want. You get exactly what you've been hoping for. You get tons of people come through your stream. You get lots of new followers. There's tons of chat. You make $100 in one stream. You're so pumped. You're so excited. The next stream you show up and it's back down to earth. You've got a few people watching. It's the regular viewers again. You're not viral. You're not on the front page of Facebook. You're not a big deal today. And then you see other people. If you're going on the gaming, you start looking at other people. Why is this person on the front every single time? Why is every time they're live, they have thousands? The dip. You get this initial excitement. This happens with a lot of things. You get this initial excitement. And often the dip comes right after you do well. Things actually, your best stream, right after they go well, you think it should just be going up and up and up and up after that. But it doesn't. It goes in waves, down and up. And now if you keep going, what I've noticed, the waves keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's what's happened with my streams on Facebook. That's why it is such a good opportunity, because the waves keep getting bigger and bigger. When my streams are doing well before, Facebook said they were going out to a lot of people, but there wasn't engagement. And what you can see, a lot of the post engagements and the views on my stream and the followers are up significantly. And all I need to do essentially is just keep streaming, just keep doing what I'm doing, and that continued growth will just snowball on itself. But on a daily basis, you might look at some of your recent posts, or you might feel like, well, what difference does it make if I'm streaming and a couple of people are watching? The streams that are down are where you convert and make that next big wave happen. And I tell myself this too. When you have that big stream come through and you go viral and you get all these shares and all this excitement, then you do another few streams and it feels like it's slowing down. That's your chance to build some real relationships with the followers you've just gotten. What I've noticed is I have a strong group of regulars, hundreds of people that come through and watch and comment on almost every single stream. And it's those relationships that allow me to go viral. Because each of those 100 viewers who's most enthusiastic, they decide whether or not to share the stream. When the notification pops up on Facebook, they decide whether or not to go watch. The fate of my channel, or on Facebook, my page, the fate of everything is completely resting on those most enthusiastic viewers. And ultimately what you want is to build strong relationships with those most enthusiastic viewers. The viewers that absolutely love what you do, that you're their main streamer, that want to see every stream, that comment all the time. They might drop 50 or 100 comments on some streams. You want to build those relationships, and this is what I look at. When the stream goes viral and there's tons of comments, it's often difficult for me to respond to each individual person, meaning it's often difficult to build a strong relationship with that core following. When the stream is more relaxed, when there's not as many people on, that's when I can bear down and focus and really try and interact and get to know and build that core following up. I can make sure never to miss a comment. I can do really in-depth responses. I can do really laser-focused things. Like last stream, I talked about my sobriety. On my last stream, we really got into sobriety and sobriety-related stories and recovery. And even though you might look, well, that stream had less reach than some of these other viral streams you did, and that stream was really good for building deeper relationships with the existing followers. And ultimately, all you need is deep relationships with your core audience. Your core audience will make everything else possible. Therefore, the goal on each stream is to build those relationships with that core audience. And you often can do that better on a smaller stream. When the stream comments and chat get rolling, that opportunity is often not there to build the relationship directly with the core audience. In fact, the stream I made the most money on in terms of stars was one of the smaller streams I did. And I watched some people, and I like when the audience is smaller and I can come in and drop my stars and I can completely own the streamer's reaction. The streamer just talks about me for 5 minutes. Thank you, I love watching your streams. And that's often better with just the core audience instead of a lot of the casuals, because if someone's really pumped up on stream and you drop a donation, they might quickly mention you, but that's about it. But when you got the core audience there, and you drop a donation on someone else's channel, and that person puts you out repeatedly for several minutes to their core audience, that's a really good chance to build some new followers then. Therefore, supporting other streamers on Facebook can be a really good way to actually build your own core following. When it's not done just to be manipulative, but it's done because you genuinely want to support them, you appreciate what they're doing, you're grateful they're gaming alongside you, you're enjoying their gameplay. Okay, I'll share their stream, I'll like their page, follow their page, get notifications, come back, and then you can find people to co-stream with. I love trying to help the people below me, so to speak. Now, this is the way our minds organize things. Whoever has the most followers is above, whoever has the most power, whatever BS thing our minds think is better and use to categorize why one person's better than another. I try and focus on helping the people behind me that don't have a huge audience on Facebook, that are just getting a few viewers. I try and help them because that's where you build really enthusiastic core followers. That is where I can do a lot of good with a little bit. I can give a shout out or a link to what you might say is a smaller streamer, and you might get 10, 20 people go over and start watching and following them. And that means a huge amount to the streamer who you might think of as a little fish. And what I do is I try and help all the people behind me. And this is why things have went so well for me, is I constantly am looking and saying, how can I help the person next to me? Instead of looking towards the top and begging and trying to get people at the top to do things for me, I look around and help the people next to me. And the people next to me keep pushing me farther and farther and farther along. That's, I hope, is useful for you to look at this today, because once you keep doing this over and over on Facebook, this gets to be some of the biggest challenges. This gets to be what is really tough. The rest of the stuff is pretty easy. You can figure out how to get all this stuff set up. And once you get some good equipment, especially, this is the grind, so to speak. This is where there's no substitute for just showing up day after day after day after day, doing a great job, interacting, building relationships, building the core following. And then when you go viral, just know it'll probably be back down to earth after that. But it's up to you to set the imagination and the expectations for the future.